Happy to be still playing here in June. Feel really fortunate to be playing at home. We don't have to travel. I feel like our guys get a better chance to rest and recover this late in the season. The weather's good. Playing a good team. We're a good team. Should be a lot of fun to watch.
Question, Berman in front.
John, based on what you've seen film of Oklahoma, what concerns, challenges do they pose for you this weekend?
They run well, pretty aggressive on the bases. Their pitching is probably similar to ours, So I don't know. I mean, they have one pretty good left-handed starter, but most people do. I mean, they're good. They're a pretty hot team. They just beat Florida. They beat Texas in the Big 12 championship. But then again, most of the teams you play this time of the year are going pretty good, and they're going pretty good, and I think we're going pretty good. But as far as individual stuff that would concern us, I mean, outside of the fact they got a lot of guys that can run, I can't really say there's anything that we really haven't seen throughout the whole year in the ACC.
Going against a team like Oklahoma with all the stolen base, all the speed they have on the base paths, how do you approach it behind the plate, balancing, managing the game for your pitchers, and then also, the threats on the base paths?
Yeah, I don't think we really necessarily change anything. Obviously, we just want to make sure we're switching up our looks and our timing to the plate. But with a team like them with speed, you just can't let that affect making pitches and getting guys out. So, not necessarily anything's going to change. Just maybe, keep a closer eye on the guy on first.
John, your first ever win in Blacksburg was against Oklahoma back in Myrtle Beach in 2018. Do you recall anything from that game?
Yeah, I can recall a lot. They made 8 errors in a game and gave us the game. It was great. I never played in a game where an opposing team made that many errors against us. They were really good, but they were awful that day. And we just kind of lucked into playing against them when they had a really bad day. But they made 8 errors in the game. I can remember distinctly their second baseman throwing a 4-6-3 double play into the left field bullpen. And that's when I figured, man, maybe this is our day. Sometimes you run into a 3 or 4 or 2, whatever, seeds that are just way better than maybe what you would think. So I don't know how Oklahoma's going to be. I mean, I would imagine they'd be very good. I know Skip Johnson. Well, I've known him for 15 years, since I was back in Kansas in the Big 12. He was I used to recruit his players when he was a junior college coach at Navarro, and I was at Louisiana Lafayette. And then he went to be Augie's pitching coach at Texas, and then moved on to Oklahoma. So just an old, strong old baseball guy. But he does a good job. I mean, he's got good people working for him. There's a lot of good players in Oklahoma and Texas. But there's a lot of good players in Virginia, too, in Tennessee, in New Jersey. So we feel pretty good about our players. And that's the best I can tell you. Our players are – if they weren't really good, we wouldn't be sitting there. We'd be doing something else.
The numbers, do you expect less runs to be scored this weekend than last weekend? I mean, obviously, you look at Oklahoma, Florida, Oklahoma didn't have that, put up those numbers there last weekend. Are you expecting a different kind of scores this weekend than last weekend?
I don't really know what I'm expecting as far as scores go. I mean, all I know is that for the most part, our guys have scored a lot of runs per game this year. And I know that our pitchers have, for the most part, thrown pretty well as theirs. So, usually when you get to this time of the year, you don't see a whole lot of really low-scoring games. Usually it's a little bit of 7-5, 9-4 kind of stuff where guys are scoring runs. Rarely will you see the 3-2, 2-1 game. Because I think for both pitching staffs, it's difficult to get out both lineups 27 times. It's difficult. Usually starters aren't going 5 to 6 innings. But again, you can put the word usually in parentheses because baseball isn't very predictable, So.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.